Happy Saturday, folks. Happy Veterans Day out there. Doing a video today on the Detroit Lions news. I'm going to get into the injury report, talk about the injury report, what it means now and going forward. We're also going to get into 4 players who won't be returning per sideline report, an article that they did. Tell you if I agree or disagree with the players that they selected. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Trying to get to 46,600 subscribers. We're getting close. Very close. With your help, it definitely can happen. Let's go. Like I said in the intro, we're really close to that subscriber count. Very close. So if we can get 33 more subscribers, that'll push us to 46,600. That would be fantastic. The more subscribers get, the better this channel grows and performs and gives you the content that you need. Lions injury report came out. A couple players on there. We're going to get into it right now. First player who is ruled out is Halapoulivaati Vaitai, Big V. Lions backup now guard. He is now the backup guard. Graham Glasgow has jumped him on the depth chart, and deservedly so. He needed to jump him on the depth chart because Big V can never play. So this is the Lions starting offensive line for tomorrow, and it's the official starting offensive line of the Detroit Lions. First time since the offensive line completely started since week 1. And it's good to have it back, but bad that Big V is not a starter because his inability to stay healthy has affected his play. And so this is what we'll be looking at going forward. And Big V is out. He will be our backup guard. It's just terrible that this guy just cannot stay healthy. It's terrible. It has plagued his Detroit Lions career here. It's plagued his time as a Lion. And he's got so much potential, but he just cannot stay healthy. The best ability is availability. With that said, he's been demoted, as he deservedly so. You got Graham Glasgow, who's playing all over the offensive line, who's been healthy, who's been consistent. You got to do consistent over production and ceiling right now. And Big V, his production sinks, and his ceiling yet is very good, but he'll never obtain that because he's always not healthy. Who wins Sunday, folks? If you think the Detroit Lions win, put L. If you think the Chargers win, put C for the game tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As we continue on here with this injury report, a couple players that we got to talk about here. Donovan Peoples-Jones is questionable with a ribs injury. He just came to the Detroit Lions in a trade. I don't know if this rib injury was his time in the Cleveland Browns or if he sustained it here, but he is questionable. Make no mistake about it, he will be part of this offense, but does it affect the Lions really big if he doesn't play on Sunday? Not really, because he just got traded here during the bye week. He would be minimal amount of snaps on offense anyways. If he does play, it'd probably be 10 to 15 snaps. So if he doesn't play, it's not a big loss in all honesty. But of course, we want to see him play. He's the newest Detroit Lion. Want to see him out there with Jared Goff and the rest of the offensive unit because we want to see how better he brings this offense for sure. So hopefully he can play. We all want to see it. We all want him on the field. Another player who is doubtful to play, it is Levi Onwuzurike, the guy who has had an injury-prone career as a Detroit Lion, dealing with a hip right now. I don't know the future of Levi here. It seems that he's probably not going to have a future here at some point. This was the make-or-break year for Levi. I got to give him credit, though. He has made the team. He did battle through the back injury, and he's battling. I'm sure he's dealing with a lot of pain, and he's sucking it up. And that's all you can ask for him. So, look, it sucks that he's not going to be playing. With that said, anytime he can play is just a positive. But it does seem like his career as a Detroit Lion is going to potentially be on the rocks after this year because we need people that can play. As much as I like his tenacity and his ability to fight to play for this team this year, his inability to stay healthy throughout his career is shown that he's injury prone, and that is something that the brass need to look at him for next year and beyond. Is the Detroit Lions going to keep him in the plans for this team going forward? I feel questionable about that. I think that he's probably not in the long-term future of this football team, because we need to have people that can be on the field. It has been something that has plagued our team for so long, is injuries. And we need to beat that. We got to stop having players that's consistently injured with our team. It just hurts the depth. It hurts, everything. You got to have continuity throughout this whole team, and you just can't do it when players are consistently injured. It's the way it is. Just the way that it is. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Name a player you do not want to return to the Detroit Lions in 2024. Any player you want to name, put that name in the comment section. It's going to be a pinned comment for this video. Sideline Report, they did an article here talking about players whom they do not want or do not expect to return for the Lions in 2024. They named 4 players. I already seen the list. I 100% agree with this list. I think it is spot on, and I do agree that these players will not be returning. The first player on the list there for potentially not returning here is Charles Harris. He was a player whom they didn't even play the other game. He was a healthy scratch. Charles Harris had a decent time in Detroit until he got injured. He showed a lot of promise, but I think Father Time has really hit him. His ceiling is over. I think that the production of him, good production, is past him, and the Lions need to look in a different direction in 2024, get younger at the edge position. And it will save money because he's a veteran, and I just believe the Lions will go in a different direction. Kind of reminds you of Michael Brockers, in all honesty, with some of these guys. And he is definitely someone that reminds you of that. The other player is a similar type of situation here. Romeo Okwara, I think his time has passed in Detroit. Father Time has caught up with him. His production has dropped significantly each year, and it is a drop this year. Just like Charles Harris, the Detroit Lions need to look in a different direction via free agency or the NFL draft, get younger there, and get better. A lot of these players that are trying to play alongside Aiden Hutchinson, these veteran guys, they're just not doing it. They're not getting it in. And it's not worth it to have them on the roster if you're not hitting home. You've got to hit home. They just can't do it. Just can't do it. And it's terrible, but it's 100% truth. We talked about this player already, Halapoulivaati Vaitai. Yeah, he's not returning next year. There's no way. This guy, he is done in Detroit after this year. When we play our final snap this season, that's his final snap as a Detroit Lion. The Lions can look to the NFL draft. They can look towards free agency. Hell, Graham Glasgow, they can look towards him. If they want to bring him back for another year, he has produced at a higher level than Big V. Big V is always injured, cannot be on the field, and it's a detriment to this football team. We have to be having players that can stay on the field. One of Bob Quinn's final players for this football team, and he's going to be off this roster in a couple of weeks, and the Lions need that. I mean, we're pretty good at the offensive line. Who will be back? Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, I do believe will be back. Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, Graham Glasgow. They could bring him back, right? And I don't have a problem with that if they do. But then if they do bring him back, please draft a guard early in the NFL draft. We still need to get better depth there. We still need to have the longer solution at the guard position. Graham Glasgow's a good stopgap, but he's not the long-term solution at the guard position. So if you want to bring him back, I'm perfectly fine with that, but draft a guard probably in the second round then. Second or third round. Develop. Look at Jonah Jackson, third-round pick. He developed pretty good. The Detroit Lions, they have a decision to make if to bring him back or not. I think they should. He has been injured this year, but it's not like he is a consistent injured player like Halapoulivaati Vaitai or Levi Onwuzurike or some of these other guys that are consistently injured. So, just like before, name a player you don't want to return to the Detroit Lions in 2024. Any player you want to name. Final player on my list, and I made him the last one to talk about. Why? Because best is for last. And before I even get into this, I already know who you're all going to put in there. Put in the name who you think I'm going to put in there right now. I already know you all know, and that's Will Harris. There's no way this guy returns in 2024. No way. He's a free agent. He has been bad. Really bad at times. He's had 2 decent games where he recovered a fumble. But other than that, he has been absolutely terrible. He is unreliable as a cornerback. He gets beat a lot. When Jerry Jacobs went down, he was exposed like no other. In preseason, you see it. Everybody just attacks his way. Preseason and NFL season. They attack his way because he's not good. Yes, he's universal. He can play safety and cornerback. So what? He's universally not that good. Okay? He's just not. He's the last at the depth chart here for the safety position. He's one of the last. I say he's third to last for the corner position. The ceiling, we already know his ceiling. We know his floor. We know everything about him. Go into the draft and get another corner or safety. Go into free agency, get another safety or corner that could fill that spot. But there's absolutely no reason to bring Will Harris back. He doesn't bring anything to this football team. And it's unfortunate, but it's time to move on from Will Harris. What do you guys think about the sideline article with those 4 players leaving? Let me know in the comment section. I agree fully, 100%. I don't think these guys return. We are live tomorrow for Lions and Chargers, a live stream watch party at 3 o'clock. Get ready for that. It's going to be good. Make sure you have a happy Veterans Day. Thank you for the veterans serving our country and what you deal with on a daily basis. With that said, folks, adios.